One of my favorite guitarists ever is Nuno Bettencourt. I begged him, literally begged the dude to play on my record, Chapter 3 from Lost Symphony. And if you haven't checked it out, we have a song called Take Another Piece with Alex Skolnick, with Richard Shaw, with a little known guy, Marty Friedman, and Nuno, who I believe to be one of the greatest of all time, and also a Bostonian. Siobhan and Corey, my bandmates in Lost Symphony, and I have a podcast called 2020, which you can check out at 2020-d.com. And we interviewed Nuno. And I gotta say, listen, I'm a huge Nuno fan. Like, I mean, fanboy. Like, I love him. I have pictures of him on my walls, and they're signed, and guitars, and I even got a Washburn because of it. When we finally duped Nuno into speaking to us. It was one of the greatest conversations of my entire life. Not only because it was cathartic, but because he was just so open and he was so truthful. And what I'm gonna do is now synthesize some of the 2020 conversations that I've had into like a mega mashup for those that are ADD and can't really handle, super long episodes or didn't even know that this stuff existed. And here is my amalgamation of some of Nuno's interview. But most importantly, the story how he and Gary Cherone met. And I don't know if that's even out there exactly, but this is wild. So if you like Nuno, if you appreciate guitar, if you just want to know how hard it is to become that good, just watch this. Hell hath frozen over. We are here with what I believe to be the GOAT, and we're in Boston, Massachusetts, and it's not Tom Brady. He's actually from the same island in the Azores as my fiance, and plays guitar like nobody's business.
Tom Brady. It was Tom Brady the whole time.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna take out my I gotta show my Bruce Jenner. My Bruce Jenner.
Win, but you don't win. But just for you bringing that up, your show is not fucking canceled. Hope you fucking enjoy that, because if you do anything,
nice run.
If you do anything in the country we live in, which is the USSR that we live in these days, you are fucking canceled. So,
ladies and gentlemen, Nuno Bettencourt, who's canceled us. He just canceled us. You heard it here first on 2020. We got 2020.
Should I wear fucking headphones? Or can I swear on this fucking thing first of all?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
No fucking swearing.
No fucking swearing.
I think this was the most epic entrance of any guest that we've had. We just jumped right in, didn't even get through the introduction. We just went right off.
I know, we just started playing with dolls within the first 10 seconds. Once again, for the fear of being canceled, I am a woman trapped in a man's body. I always have been. I always relate to women really well. And I love women, and I think they're the most beautiful creatures in the world. No, why is that? Why won't any guys work with me? What the fuck? You just gave me a fucking complex, man. Thank you so much. You just mentioned.
Well, I mean, technically,
Nicole, Rihanna, Janet.
Well, but Tony Braxton was a good one. But
Jonas was Michael. Why couldn't I have been working with Michael? Fucking Slash, fucking Eddie, the GOAT. What do you mean the GOAT?
You worked with a Jonas brother. That's pretty big.
All right. That's big. That's one.
And just so you know, I think the Jonas Brothers are fucking amazing. Like, honestly, those dudes not only can sing, but like, what was that song, Jealous, that came out? That all day long, I'm in the bathroom, feel so jealous.
Why are you in the bathroom all day long?
Because that's actually where I met the Jonas Brothers, was in the bathroom in that place in LA you go to, like the Beverly Hills, you have to be invited.
Oh,
that place.
I thought you were going to say you were in the bathroom like I used to be. Like you have a National Geographic with the Tribe edition where the
do you do the foot? Do you do the foot thing underneath the stall, and that's where you catch your flight?
We're gonna leave that one alone.
We're gonna get you canceled.
You need a physicist for that one. I would have a little bit of wine if I didn't have to just run in here and. She ran down the stairs, and I had to run in here.
We'll let you go get your wine. Go get your wine. We've waited long enough. Go get it.
You just have to promise to come back.
We'll give you 7 seconds.
You don't got to twist my arm, man.
Should I go get another bottle?
Yes. Go get
We're doing this. We're going deep, bro.
There's a liquor store down the corner.
And that's how quickly you went.
No, what he did is he actually called Paul Geary, and he's like, "Hey, man, Paul, do you know anybody near my street?" But he knows someone on your street.
No, absolutely.
So, how do you almost die 3 or 4 times? What's the story behind that? Or is that like...
Oh, you didn't know you could do that?
Like what? Like actually die or almost die?
Absolutely.
I guess you could. Yeah, a near-death experience or actual death.
That was the name of his band for a while, so near-death experience. So is that why?
I think Benny's the only one that's ever mentioned that to me in my entire life.
On the population of one that knows near-death experience.
Do I look all right? I don't know.
You look great. You have not aged.
Actually,
we were talking
do you
about
want to know how? Listen, Nuno.
You look absolutely beautiful.
By the way, don't worry. Between me and Benny, nobody else is gonna get a fucking word in this fucking interview. You know that, right?
That's how the show kind of works.
Oh, it's always like that.
And then you add me into it, and it's like I don't shut up either. So we're all fucked.
This was given to me by our mutual friend Paul Geary from a very early time, and if you look, Nuno looks exactly the same.
Wait, what was it?
Look at this. It's from Modern Drummer magazine.
What's the hair?
I mean, you really do look the same.
I strategically placed the hair all this way. Sorry. There it is.
Yes. Look at him. Look at him. We have to do like the split screen. Like the 75-year challenge.
We were at Tom Morello's house. Tom used to have these, I don't know, well, this is BC, before COVID, right? Back in the fucking, in 2019 BC, where he used to throw these great little parties, and he had this connected to his house. It was like this thing where people were supposed to be jamming, and it's a bedroom. He replicated his bedroom from when he was a kid. And so nobody can really fit in it. And he's got amps, and he used to jam, and everybody's just in the hallway watching. And he'd do Halloween parties, all sorts of stuff. And then he introduced me and Perry at this party, and we kind of hooked up the next couple of days, and we wrote a little bit, jammed a bit. And yeah, we did satellite party together.
Did he come up to you and ask you if you were like dressed as Dave Navarro?
No, he asked, are you okay with performing live with me and putting a dildo up your ass while you're doing a guitar solo? I saw it. You know what? I finally got Benny to shut up. You fucking believe it? I got him to shut up for a second. He's just laughing. But so many things happen to you along the way, and it's not just the National Geographic in the bathroom. That's really important. But it's I grew up, I'm the youngest of 10 kids. And it's not just the youngest of 10 kids. The youngest of 10 kids that all fucking played. Everybody played bass, instruments, multiple instruments. My dad played like fucking 12 instruments, clarinet and violin and all sorts of shit. He was a complete asshole, but he never taught me anything, but he played them. Like I said, back in the 1900s, when we fucking moved from Portugal to Massachusetts, to Hudson, Mass. I remember you walk into your living room was like, all right, there's a keyboard there. It's a Farfisa organ, or then there's a drum kit in the corner. You had no choice but to just like, it was the Nintendo of what everybody did later, right? You just jump on a kit, you pick up a bass, you play. Christmases are like the whole Beatles catalog. We were the only fucked up family. We didn't sing Christmas songs. We sang Beatles songs at Christmas. It was just like a Beatles jam. And that was the Bible. Music, it's interesting. Music wasn't something you discovered in like you weren't like a kid in a normal family, and then all of a sudden you saw Ozzy and you're like, or Aerosmith, you're like, I'm gonna, that's it. It was kind of like part of regular life. You know what I mean? And then the normal stuff was odd. It's like, that's why I always had a hard time looking at myself as a guitar player. Mm-hmm. I just play. I played drums, way more drums before I played guitar. Played bass way more before I played guitar. Piano as well. It was just around. Now, I wasn't getting any lessons. Nobody was fucking teaching us shit. We just did it. You're the youngest of the kids. You walk into one room, you hear the Beatles, Bee Gees. You go into the next room because of the age gaps in generation, then you're hearing like Hendrix. Then one day you walk in and you hear fucking Van Halen in 1978. And then that changes and fucks your whole life up and rocks your world. And you're like, oh, what the fuck is going on there? But it was Zeppelin, it was that, it was Queen, obviously. But it was like my brothers and sisters were the library. I never bought a fucking record in my entire life. I can't tell you how many days I did school just to listen to music and go through shit and listen to shit and hide. I used to hide in my basement. Everybody thought I was in school. I broke a record one day. I think I missed 72 days of one fucking year of school just in my basement listening to it. I'm not kidding. And back then, it wasn't like my mother didn't speak English, never fucking picked up the phone really. Everybody went, and they used to have that truant officer. They used to get in a fucking car like fucking, like fucking Ferris Bueller's fucking Day Off. They used to go look for you. They get into a car, a woman. I remember her till this day. My sister told me she just passed away like 2 weeks ago. This woman I gave her a career of looking for me. And somehow, I was always in the same place in my fucking basement, listening to fucking music and playing guitar and shit. And the funny thing is like, she never worked that out, never came to my basement. And then somehow I still fucking, they passed me. God bless the fucking public school system. 72 days, you break a record, they're like, get him the fuck out of here.
Right.
We lived in an island called Terceira. We had this little house, and it had, I think, only one bedroom. Somehow 10 of us lived in there, 10 or 12 of us with one bedroom. And across the street was the beach, the ocean. The view was the beach. It was normal to us. We lived on an island. I was 4 years old. We left. We left to come to America to be able, for the land of opportunity, to work. And, you know, my dad worked in a factory. Everybody was in factories. My sister, everybody worked their fucking fingers to the bone. We were on welfare. I remember coming home nights, you know, after like being out with my friends, or I used to fucking like play basketball at the boys club or whatever, come back. And I'd come in the house at night and be candlelit and shit. And I think, wow, this is really super cool. Like people using candle. I didn't know we didn't have electricity. We couldn't afford the electricity. We lost. It kept getting disconnected. We couldn't even afford it. So then I'm going, everybody's working their ass off. People are quitting high school to be able to work, to be able to pay the rent, to be able to do stuff, to be able to live the American dream, to make enough money, to finally retire and have a house on the beach at the ocean.
The irony, yeah.
Guys, wait. We were already there. Yeah. We were already there. Yeah, we didn't have money, but we were fucking paradise. The place is paradise. The Azores is paradise. Now, I understand if you go back to 1971, when I came over, things were hard there. You know, not a lot of money there. There's not a lot of work, so you have to go somewhere to work. But think about the irony of like, you go back and everybody's trying to get a fucking house there now. It's like, it's wild. But that's, yeah. And so, I don't know. We never answer fucking questions. We go.
You could have lived in Quincy, man. It's right on the water.
I live in Quincy. One of my loves of my life, and my first girlfriends was in Quincy.
Dude, Dunkin' Donuts started in Quincy, so if that doesn't make everybody happy.
Walk in with my guitar, I put it down, and in walks this fucking dude with like a snakeskin jacket, and he puts his guitar, he's got sunglasses, he wouldn't take them off, mirrored sunglasses, he sits down, he puts his guitar, and he goes, "The fuck you doing in here?" I'm like fucking 16 years old. I'm like, they said we have to share the, before I can even finish, he goes, "Nah, you gotta get out, this is extreme dress, this is my fucking dress room, get out." Okay. Me and my brother got out. We were kind, you know, Portuguese, you know, fucking quiet, like scared enough as it was being in this country. And we go and we use the coat room that nobody was using as our dress room. I remember leaving that night. I left while they started. I walked out. My keyboard player, Joe Bowers, Portuguese kid. We looked up, let's see what these guys are about. I look up. I see this singer with spaghetti down his arm. Curly long hair, he's fucking going. And I realized, oh fuck. The guy that threw me out of the dressing room was a guy named Peter Hunt, the guitar player. Why is that significant? Because a year later, 2 years later, who do I replace in that band? I meet Gary. He's doing a video shoot for Mother Don't Want to Go to School Today, the one that went on the MTV Basement videotapes at a record deal. A friend of mine at Cambridge Music Complex where I rehearse says, "Come to the shoot, come shoot." I'm like, for those guys, fuck those guys. Fucking asshole that kicked me out of the fucking dressing room, fuck them. Got me some wine. I ended up going. So I'm actually in the video and my arms up, jumping up and down while all the kids are running out of school. I'm one of the kids running out of school. Little side note. But I'm out in the field. Out of nowhere, this fucking dude walks out to come and talk to me. It's Gary Cherone. Never met him. Comes out, he goes, "Hey man, friend that brought me Jody, the girl said that you're a fucking badass guitar player." I'm like, I'm all right. I'm a shy as fuck. I didn't say a word, actually. I didn't even say that. I'm making shit up as I go. But I was like, "Yeah, great to meet you, asshole." The band that kicked us out of the fucking dressing room. And he goes, "Man, you know, love to hear you someday." Goes away. They win the MTV fucking Basement Tapes Awards. Another year goes by, whatever it is, what's happening. All of a sudden, I'm in a band called Sinful. All right? Out of fucking Milford, Mass. Portuguese singer, rock band, metal band. We're on the verge of getting a record deal. We go to see Extreme play, who's now X-Dream. I don't know if you know that's how they got the name. Extreme.
Yep. Because Paul trademarked it.
I'm sure Paul Gary didn't tell you the fact that he fucking sold out and sold the name, and Gary didn't want it.
No, he did, dude. First off, I thought you were in on that. I wanted to ask you about that, but that makes sense because Paul Geary is the only guy in 1984 that's like, hey, we have a band that does nothing. Let's get a trademark for it. And then John Stamos makes the fucking pay. So everyone knows. Because Nuno knows this. Obviously, Nuno knows. But so that everyone knows, because this has been told to me from Paul Geary, is that
on the
Extreme.
Show.
Yeah,
right.
Is that you guys should go back and watch the episode. But that Extreme is actually just means X-Dream, because Dream.
They booked it as Extreme, and they kept saying Extreme.
Right, and if you guys YouTubes it, you can find this old crappy, but yet again a guy that is diametrically the same as Nuno, because John Stamos is ageless and beautiful for all time. So it makes total sense that Jesse and the Rippers in his first show, The Dream or whatever, would be Nuno. So they have to be Extreme. It was, I think, a Nostradamus-like thing for John Stamos to be you.
Absolutely. Well, to add to that, the fucking video is coming out. It's a big fucking video release party, right? So I don't know if I just it's punishment or whatever it is. I want to be closer to this fucking band who were assholes. So I went that night. I went that night to the channel in Boston, and they were doing the video release party. Check this shit out. I'm out there. The place is fucking packed. I'm out there and I'm watching this band that I hate, supposedly. But I remember when I left, my buddy said to me, he goes, when I forgot to tell you, when I left from the Paradise that night, my keyboard, one of my close friends, I just spoke to him last week, my best friend, he was a keyboard player in Viking, and he goes, you're going to be doing that one day. And I was like, what the fuck? Talk about fucking Nostradamus? I'm like, what are you talking about? Because never. Years go by. I'm at this fucking thing now. Jim Blue, does that ring a bell to anybody? You're all too fucking young. Jim Blue booked what was the metal night in Celebrations on Wednesday nights, which was the fucking night to be at every Wednesday night at Kenmore Square, the rat across the street, metal night, and fucking dudes with long fucking hairspray fucking hair, all us going there. Then you got all the punks came out, and there was a dance club, all going to Pizza Pad. This is like some shit out of Friends, a fucking Friends episode. But they all meet
I'm wearing
there.
a Friends shirt. I'm wearing a Friends shirt right now.
But honestly, dude, you guys are getting where fucking IHOP and all that and all this shit ended with the Gap. All used to be at fucking 2 a.m. pizza fucking joint, big one, where all these cultures collided. There were fights every night. The punk rockers, the fucking glam rockers, and the fucking club, the fucking disco dudes, right? There was shit going on every night. There were fights and shit, like people were getting hurt. The channel finishes. They do the video release party. I'm walking on the parking lot. Jim Bluth says, go buy fucking Celebrations downstairs. I'm closed, but let's go have a drink. I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, ain't going. I get in my car. I'm driving the exit, Alston, fucking Mass Pike.
Oh, they changed them all by
Alston,
3
Brighton,
exit.
yeah.
So, and I'm driving. I'm looking at it. I missed the exit because I didn't want to go in. I'm like, fuck it. It was 2 a.m, no traffic. I slam on the brakes. I back up. This is insane. I fucking say, fuck it. I show up at Celebrations. I don't see anybody. I'm fucking banging on the fucking windows. He kindly comes open the door. He's there. And he's like, coming in. I'm just with a friend of mine. There's only one other person in there. Guess who this motherfucker was in there? Gary Cherone. What are the fucking odds that the only other person is Gary Cherone? He's in there because he's trying to manage them. I had no idea. But he didn't invite me to meet him or do anything. He probably invited a few people at the channel. I fucking walk in. It's me and Gary and fucking Jim Bluth. I'm like, all right, what's this asshole doing here? I was remembering the dressing room at the Paradise. I'm like, fuck this dude. We have a few drinks. We start talking, and Jim Bluth says out loud, he goes, hey guys, I'm doing a fucking Halloween night at Celebrations, but nobody can be in the same band. I want to get guys from different scenes to be a band that you all love together. So me and Gary talk about, I bring up fucking Queen, right? He's like, what did you just say? I said, Queen. He goes, you're not a fucking Queen fan. He goes, I'm the fucking Queen fan. He goes, fuck you, you're the Queen fan. I'm the fucking Queen fan. I go, you know how I know? Because I'm going to fucking tell you the fucking album that should be the fucking best album that they ever had, whatever, and you're not going to fucking know it, and it's not your album. And I go, he goes, yeah? This is like literally how the fuckers. He goes, want to do it at the fucking same time? I'll go ahead. We both said at the same time, Queen 2. Literally.
Yes! March of the Black Queen!
March of the Black Queen.
Yes!
Literally. He said it. I'm like, bullshit. This is like Step Brother shit.
Yeah,
Dude.
just
Wanna
become
do
best
karate in the
friends.
fucking
Dude,
garage?
that's my favorite album by them.
Is it really? I didn't know that. It's my favorite.
Dude,
album.
First off, I think that song Nevermore, where he does it in the falsetto.
Yeah, Nevermore. Dude, you know how many times me and Gary sing Nevermore at soundcheck for fucking 20 years?
Is that how you got that beautiful falsetto?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because that's like, for me, like, if you guys ever want to hear what the most beautiful falsetto that a man can do, go listen to Nevermore off Queen 2. And by the way, if you want to hear Queen's Stairway to Heaven, and it's not Bohemian Rhapsody, go listen to March of the Black Queen, which, by the way, goes into the songs before and after, because why not? Because they're Queen and they're prog.
Yeah.
Why don't you smash that subscribe button already?